Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Oh, this is Cassie. And I have something to show you today. Oh, please don't you attack me now. I already got laid open by Tabby Boy a few minutes ago and he is not in my room. But I have for you is the empties for, I guess, January and February. And this is mostly makeup and skincare, the good stuff. So I go through more sunblock than anybody I know. You cannot negotiate your skincare, and your sunblock is something that is absolutely not negotiable. So you can get these 8-ounce tubes of no-ad 30s and sometimes no-ad 50s at 99-cent stores if you know where to look. Not so much maybe in the wintertime. It's been hard to find them. But you cannot get a better deal. 8-ounce tubes. You think how expensive your sunblock runs you. This is not bad at all. But try to get the 50s because 50 is better than 30. So I go through so many of these in a year, and this is usually my wintertime sunblock. Once, pretty much by March, I'm going to be doing the 50s. But if you're only staying in the house, and this is your minimum, your SPF 30 right here. Now, and this happens to be a much smaller container of another brand of SPF 30. I always am getting sunblock. That is so important. I can't stress that enough. Now, this is only an SPF 15. This is actually a knockoff of the Aveeno that is supposed to have the active soy complex. It's supposed to even out your skin tone and all that stuff. Well, this was also at the 99-cent store. And what I happen to like about this formula, this is only for the absolute worst overcast winter day, the absolute minimum UVs, because it's only an SPF 15. But this particular formula is much more like a moisturizer. It's light, so it won't bother you if you have extremely oily skin, and my skin is oily. So, and this is absolutely gone. When these things get emptied, I cut them. I get every little bit out. I don't waste anything. Well, the thing when I was taking it apart, the tube thingy that fell onto the floor, that got thrown into recycling. So, but sunblock is your friend. Now, I have, you know what? There's like a half teaspoon of this left, and this is what I'm going to use when I go to bed. I'm going to take the makeup off with this. This is a vitamin E and basically salad oil mix that I got at Dollar Tree over the summer. And I didn't intend to use it as a makeup remover, but that's what I ended up using it as. So I also went through a trial size bottle of the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. And this cleanser is good if you would like something that's not foaming, and that way won't get suds all the way up into your hairline and prematurely fade out your color. That's the one complaint I have about foaming cleansers. Though I do like a foaming cleanser after I use an oil to get rid of the excess greasiness. Because if you don't get rid of the excess oil, then when you go to put your skincare on, it won't penetrate as deeply because you've got all that grease. So that's why we do double and triple cleansings. You want to make sure that give your skin every opportunity to not only get your makeup and your dirt off, but to prepare your skin for all the layers of skincare that you're hopefully putting on. So that's why you really want to do a good job with your cleaning. And I am a firm believer in washcloths. Now, this is a different kind of washcloth. This is actually more like that chamois towel that actually it dries really quickly, and it doesn't have a whole lot of texture, even though it looks like it does. This is very, very soft. Generally speaking, I would tend to want something with a little bit more of a scrubby, more of a towel type of consistency. But you know what? It's good to have variety of them, because say if your skin is particularly irritated, maybe you're peeling from your retin-A or something, then maybe you want something a little bit more gently. Even though I could see the temptation to, if you've got peeling skin, maybe you want something a little bit on the rough side to help to take the peelies off. So it's all depending on you and your skin. But I like to change my washcloth every 2 uses. So I used to wash morning and night, but now I only wash at nighttime. If I am starting off, day to night skincare, I don't do double wash, because why would you wash off important, expensive skincare that you've only had on for a couple of hours? If I go to bed and I do a whole bunch of different kind of skincare, and I have to allow time in between my vitamin C and my retinoid, because if one is oily and one's watery, and sometimes there's pilling that results if you don't allow some of your layers to soak in before you put your next layer on. Not everything plays together well. So I don't wash my face in the morning again when I get up. If some of my skincare has only been on a couple of hours, especially if I've been out really late, and I tend to keep very late schedules. Some days I only get 2 hours of sleep. I know that's not good for you, but guess what? We only have 24 hours in a day, and you've got a lot of things to do. And sometimes I wake up naturally in the morning anyway, even if I've been out late. Like last night, for instance, I know I only got like 2 hours sleep yesterday, because I had, life happens and you have things to do. So I'm definitely not getting a whole lot of sleep. So if I only wash my face at night when I'm taking off the makeup and everything, because once I start piling that skincare on, I want to give it a good close to 24 hours to work. So that's why I do that. And back to the skincare. This is a really good heavy cream moisturizer by Yves Rocher. This is their rich cream. This has got to be my 4th jar of it. I started working with this when a friend of my mother's gave this to me. At first, I would only use this in the wintertime because it is heavy. It's a good night cream. Right now, I'm using so many products from the ordinary, the watery things, and then the oily things, that I finally used this up. I washed it out, cleaned it. It is totally empty. But even if I only use it around my eyes and at nighttime, this is good stuff. It's supposed to have, it says 30 different kinds of oils, comforting anti-wrinkle cream with 30 precious oils. So, but if I do run into it again, I will get it. This is something that I am really sorry that I am out of. This is from The Ordinary. This is one of their vitamin C formulations. This is their vitamin C suspension, 30% in silicone. And as you can see, I got everything out. Now, this is really interesting. This stuff, I got this when they had the 23% off sale that The Ordinary Deciem has every year, around Christmas time. It goes on the whole month. And I made 3 purchases during this month because I wanted to make sure that I had my year's worth of skincare. Well, you have to be sure to order what you want as soon as possible because things do sell out. And so I was only able to get 1 tube of this 30% vitamin C suspension. And the only reason why I only got 1 is because I wanted to make sure that it worked for me, because I'd read some mixed reviews on their different formulations. I know I didn't want the kind that left you with the sandy, gritty feel. I didn't think that would be pleasant. So this is the one I tried. But by the time, after I tried it, I decided I liked it. Then it was sold out. So I got some of the other formulas of vitamin C that I'm working on right now. And as a matter of fact, I will go ahead and show you the kind that I'm using that's open for me now. Now I'm using their magnesium ascorbyl phosphate 10%. And it has very, very similar packaging, but they feel very different. This feels like a dry toothpaste, like the kind of toothpaste that have baking soda in them. This, on the other hand, feels just like a creamy moisturizer. And as a matter of fact, I had to change the order in which I applied these. This, for instance, I put on after I put my retinoid on, but I had to let my retinoid soak in at least a half hour to an hour. Otherwise, this stuff would peel on me. With this, it's just the opposite. This, according to the directions, you're supposed to put on after your watery skincare. So this goes on first, and then I put my retinoid on top of it. But I still want to leave some time to soak in before I put my retinoid in. But you don't need to let your watery things, once you've already have your watery things on, you don't need to allow time before putting this on. But I imagine that each one of these tubes probably lasts a good 2 months. So I'm really not sure whether I do have my year's worth. I just don't want to be paying full price if I know that I can get things on sale. And I know that I can also order this. The Ordinary Skincare is also available at Ulta. But again, and whenever they're having a site-wide sale for Deciem/The Ordinary, you're not going to get those same sales at the brick and mortar stores that also carry them. So if you want to get your sales, you're going to have to go to the manufacturer to get them. So I don't know if this is going to last any longer than this dryer formula. And it's still too early to say my opinion on the effectiveness of them. I have less experience with vitamin C than I do with retinoids, but I want to use every skincare available at my arsenal to get all the effects I can. So anyway, I'm sorry I didn't have more of that. And I'm just going to treat them all similarly because they are vitamin C's, and I have utmost respect and faith in Deciem, the parent company of The Ordinary. Getting back to my empties, I really liked this foundation a lot. This is the L'Oreal True Match, and this is known for having a very decent shade range, and as usual, I tend to wear the palest color that they make, short of white face. And I have some of that too. This is the color W1. W is for warm, and it is called Porcelain. I've gone through 2 bottles of this, and this other one I enjoyed a lot. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me Foundation, and the color is 102, and I had a sticker on top, and the sticker is on here, and it is also called Fair Porcelain. And it is also the lightest shade they make. So if you're very, very, very fair, and especially if your skin tends to be on the oily side, I recommend this. And sometimes even if you don't think your skin's on the oily side, by the time you put all your skincare on, which you should be doing, your skin will probably feel oily, in which case maybe you want a foundation that's not too oily so that it works well with all your skincare. So I usually save little glass bottles like this because if you wash them really well, if you make any kind of herbal preparations, if you do things with essential oils or things, you want a glass bottle so it's non-reactive. So little bottles like this can really come in handy. Another thing that I am going to hate to see go is my concealer. This is Maybelline Age Rewind. Now, I started using this on recommendation from another YouTuber who calls herself Melissa55. She's a really sweet lady. I haven't met personally, but you could just tell that she has a really good, loving, decent energy about her. That's one of the things I look for in the YouTubers that I watch. It's not just your content, but it's the personality. And if I'm taking time from my busy day to watch other YouTubers, believe me, there's some goodness in them. And I'm really glad that I followed this recommendation. Now, I did get their lightest shade, which is called Ivory. That's oftentimes the palest shade you can get. And it comes with a spongy applicator. Now, the one thing, the actual lid on this, it cracked and it came off. So I ended up storing it in plastic so it wouldn't evaporate. And it's really good for going under the eyes, and it's also good as the lid surface. And I think it comes in 4 shades. I could be wrong. I just go for the lightest so that it fits, and I was very pleasantly surprised. It's good stuff. If you are needing a concealer, you could do a lot worse. Oh, this is a mascara that, I'm sorry, I used up. I'm not going to get rid of the container because it is so adorable. I have anything with cats on them, I think so much of. This I got from wish.com, and the company is Manchu, and this is their Max Sweet Cat brand, Max Volume. I will show you what the actual packaging looks like. The box is even cute also. And as you can see, they call it Sweet Cat. I think I got 3 of these when I ordered from Wish. But because of the cat head, I'm definitely going to save it. I usually save my mascara brushes anyway, because they're really good for combing your eyebrows before coloring them. Yes, my eyebrows really are shaped like this. It's just if I didn't color them, they wouldn't look good. But this is what the brush looked like. Matter of fact, I may have just a little bit left. I may get 1 or 2 more uses out of it, but it doesn't really have enough coverage to really use when I really need to have a decent mascara look. Speaking of mascaras, this was a mascara that I was actually disappointed in. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar X Fibers. This is technically everything that I thought I wanted in a mascara. This has a primer, though it's not a white primer, it's a black primer. And you put on the primer first, and then you put on the mascara next. And it is waterproof, was the main reason why I got it. For having fibers, it never felt like it had any fibers to it. It was one of the more expensive mascaras I ever bought. It's something a case where I actually fell for the ads. And the thing is, you never really can trust the ads on mascaras anyway, because if you read the fine print, almost all the ads say what it looks like with lash inserts. I don't care how good a mascara is. If you put it on false eyelashes, of course it's going to look fantastic. Show me mascara on somebody with see-through, short, stubby eyelashes like mine, and then I'll tell you if it makes something out of nothing. Otherwise, you're paying for ad campaigns, you're paying for supermodels, you're paying for retouching. And with mascara, to me, mascara is like bras. Don't show me a bra that's extremely padded and then go tell me to judge a chest, okay? Because the padding is going to obviously change how things look. Same thing with mascara. If you're going to model a mascara for an ad campaign, don't wear false eyelashes. Put them on lashes. And let's see. So this never was very thin. It was very thick. It was clumpy. It just didn't give me the bang for my buck that I would expect, especially considering what I paid for this. And this might not be that much to you. I paid almost $11 for it, and I did have a $1.50 coupon on it. But I was really disappointed. It was nothing like, and I've had other mascaras with fibers in it. This was not the best, and I won't be repurchasing it. And it's a shame it had, I liked the whole thing with the shoelace thing, the lace-up thing, the corsetry look. The packaging was cute, but it just didn't do much for me. Maybe it was different for you. I won't be purchasing it again. I've had mascaras way cheaper do a lot better. This is a mascara that I will gladly purchase again, and this is from a company called Heng Fang. Don't you like to say that? Heng Fang! Would you like to eat some Heng Fang? No, it's not food. It's a mascara, and it says max volume, and it's got a skull on it, which is the real reason why I bought it. And some of the skulls are silver and some of the skulls are gold, but it does not indicate what the mascara is like. Now I want to show you what the current one that I'm using looks like, because the actual brush broke off. These brushes are so thick and big. I'm going to hold this up against my face so you can see just how big this brush is. Isn't that something? This is a serious big brush. You turn it, and it really does coat your lashes. The only thing is it's not waterproof. So if your eyes are going to be watery or it's windy outside, your mascara will still run. But I always save mascara spoolies because they have so many other uses. Even if you get your animal, your dog or cat gets food stuck in their fur, take a clean mascara spoolie, wet their fur. This will help them get their food out of their fur so that they don't cry and complain that you're pulling their fur when you're trying to clean it out of them. Mascara spoolies are good with that. So, okay, I don't want to mix these. Okay, this is the one that the brush actually broke off, and so I washed it. But normally with something like this, I would save the whole thing because of the skull. So, if you order from wish.com, get this mascara. I think it's a total of $3 with shipping, but I think it's worth it. Here is another one of my foundations. This is from, what is it? Not LA Girl. This is from, you know what? I'm going to have to look at the packaging and find out. See, I always think I'm prepared when I do these damn videos, but guess what? Okay, that was from Color Mates. And as you can see, I used it up all the way. This is a solid compact makeup. I got it at Dollar Tree. They only have a very limited size range, color range, light, medium, and dark, just like Sassy and Chic does. This is good if you're traveling, you don't want to spill liquids, you want something lightweight. It's got the lid. It comes with a little sponge applicator. I just use my bare hands. I don't like to use a beauty blender. I've used brushes also, but so many things absorb half your product. You don't buy makeup for it to be wasted. Why are you going to get a big sponge and make it a nice finish, but it soaks up half of your product? It doesn't make any sense to me. If you're on a budget, you want to conserve what you're buying. Don't use applicators that waste half the product. This I use, now it says it's like cream to powder. I don't find anything powdery about it. It doesn't dry down in a way that cream to powder foundations do. But use your fingers and I really do like to use that jade roller over my makeup when I finish it and just before I leave the door, because it never fails that foundation will settle into your wrinkles, especially if you've got your corrugator muscle contracts and you get what many people call the 11s, which is why people get Botox. And believe me, if I could afford it, I'd be a Botox babe. You think I wouldn't? Well, these jade rollers, they feel cool. They will take your foundation and they will make sure that it goes back into your lines and your wrinkles. If you think you don't have them, you have them. Unless you're like 17 and you're watching me. And you know what? There are 17-year-olds that start smoking early, that they can get wrinkles. It's never too early to fight your wrinkles. And while this won't do anything about your wrinkles, it will take your foundation and where it collects in them and accentuates them, it'll flatten it out so that you won't see them as much. And it just feels real good. Just try not to smear your makeup when you're doing it. And this, by the way, I think I spent no more than $3 for this. You can spend upwards of $20 for these. And this is real jade. I'm sure it's not jewelry quality jade, but still. And this isn't real gold or anything, of course not. But $3. I think, matter of fact, no, I think it was more like $1.50 or something. Wish.com. I'm telling you, the deals you can get on that if you don't mind the time it takes for the shipping. And the thing is, now they're saying that with the coronavirus and everything, you really, I'm reading more and more that if you're going to be buying anything from China, do it sooner as opposed to later. because if they're having problems with the people that are too sick to go back to work, and then you're not going to be able to maybe get as much of the products that you expected to get. So do buy sooner as opposed to later if you want to order stuff from China. That's what the word is. All the tech guys are saying. The beauty people are saying, your Chinese merchandise, because of the coronavirus, buy your stuff as soon as you can. Oh, this was a bottle of glitter. This was, I believe, from... Oh, this was glitter that had a roller ball on it. And I believe this is from Elf, I think. And yes, I could say it was, I think, pale green and silver glitter from what the residue on here. And as you can see, I used it up. Usually I would put a concealer on the eyelid, like after a cut crease or something. And then I just use my finger and I dab it on. Now, if you want to see what's on my eyelid, now I have, well, I'm not going to show you everything because obviously I have a number of shadows on, but I am finally using up the last of my Jesse's Girl iridescent powder. This is green, and as you can see, there is tiny, tiny, tiny little bit, so I guess I can, this does go in the empties. You can see, as a matter of fact, I think I may use this for the rest of the week so that it absolutely is absolutely empty. But I think for all intents and purposes, this is considered an empty. It goes on kind of sheer unless you really pack it on good. And by the way, for that, I used this brush, which is a Wet n Wild brush that I got at Dollar Tree a couple of weeks ago. And it deposits color very well. And it's made from man-made materials, so it's vegan if you are worried about things like that. No animals were harmed. Most of the cosmetics I use they don't test on animals, so that at least makes me feel good. Here is something that I was disappointed in. This is by ColourPop. This is, in theory, I should have loved it. It's their cream gel liner. If you're going to get an eyeliner from ColourPop, do yourself a favor and get the gel pot liners. I have experience with them. I can tell you they really do stay put. They're waterproof. Once they dry down, they don't budge. The problem with these automatic pencils, and this is the third automatic pencil of theirs I've gotten, is they're too fragile. They break too easy. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was just too rough on them. But if you really want good bang for your buck, get a gel pot liner and a skinny brush. That's not what I'm wearing right now. I actually am wearing another kind of green pencil. But because these break and the whole thing ends up going to waste, I honestly can't recommend them, and I am not going to get another one of those. This is the eyeliner that I'm wearing. This is by ColourPop. This is from their, I got a set of 5 eyeliners, and they're all named after famous techno dance concert festivals. And I think it's called the Beat Drop, is what the collection is called. And these are all Dayglow colors: white, yellow, orange, pink, and green. And did it come with a blue? No, but I have a blue pencil. Anyway, that's where that came from. And I am taking very good care of this because I don't want it to break. Now, what you really see underneath my eyeline is I took some of that Jesse's Girl and I put it underneath my eye. So, that's how I did that. Yeah, that's about it for my empties. A short, sweet video, but you know what? It's almost a half hour. It's not that short. I'd like to think it's sweet. Want to see Cassie again? Oh, look, I got a baby cat. Yes, when I film outside, I don't get to show my kitties. And, I hope I don't end up getting a copyright strike for the last video I did, because I did hear the ambient music in it. I actually posted the last video I posted without even seeing it, because it was one of those situations where I did a filming and posting during the same day, because if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have had a video to post on time. Even though it was a little bit past midnight, I still considered keeping schedule. Oh, yes, you complaining. Please don't do what Tabby Boy did. He made me bleed. Oh, yes, he got me good. My hand's sore. I hope it doesn't get infected. Oh, yes, because, cat bites and cat scratches can get infected, and especially with senior citizens, they can get catastrophic infections. So whenever you get a cat scratch or bite, wash your hands really well and put some peroxide on. And if you have antibacterial or what's that, antibiotic ointment, you should put that on too, which I'm going to do after I sign off here, because you kitties have real germy paws because of where you walk on this filthy floor and you dig around in litter boxes. And so we don't like to be scratched or bitten. No, we don't like kitty gungy bungies. Okay? Okay? Alright. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you do, hit that bell so it looks like it's ringing, and that way you won't miss anything. Oh, yes. Say goodbye, Cassie. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.